push this over here. Hopefully that's on. Turn on something. All right. And music volume is probably okay. Every time I do this, it's a disaster. All right. Hopefully not too crazy. Send up the signal flares. Hold on, I'm gonna do something drastic. Do something drastic. What button does it? See what happens. All right. Oh, hey. When do we get Wicked emotes in the global section? Like, official Wicked stuff? Don't hate. I haven't seen any of the like Wicked movie stuff. It's quite popular among my circle of friends, though. All right, we need to. Are we joining in on the free run trend today? So kind of yes, kind of no. It may not actually happen this second, but like I had a goated like it's in my brain. It's gonna happen now. Okay, we have a solid 3 hours. Let's see. I have a timer here. 3 hours and 44 minutes and 3 hours, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Before I have to do everything but draw. My life is good right now, yet it is in chaos. It is just in chaos sometimes. Let's set up some stuff here. Sexter, I may not have the ability to do this entirely on stream, but the idea is like, all right, this will be funny. I'm gonna try and draw this without the reference. Okay, so let's see here. This is like a 10-minute warm up. Okay, and so this is without reference. Like I don't have this thing in front of me. Okay, so what was it? Like okay. It's like I remember the ear being like this. I don't remember the hair. This is still being drawn too well. And then she had a like a choker necklace on, right? Her hair parts a bit in the middle, almost like bangs. Okay, so like this. But I remember it was so flat. Like it looked like it was like distorted and stretched. It looks like somebody took a like a flat face and like tried to like wrap it around an egg. Even this looks too good. Yeah, neck look fine, but then the face was the wrong angle. Well, they had mixed perspectives, and I think I talk about this sometimes on the stream where it's like you can't just draw one thing well at one angle and then combine it with another thing drawn at another angle or like lensing effects and merge the two. It's completely wacky. Did she have like long hair? Was it like this? Or was it a ponytail? It's funny that we're still... It's like... Okay, but here's two ponytail. Okay. Is it like this? Like that? I can just look this up. I'm gonna look up the reference at this point. No, this was sort of a test. Like, what do I even know what I'm talking about? Let's see here. Rear and base wrong. Oh, the top result is I hate how that bad drawing of Freerin went viral. Viral. This is the original post. Okay, so let's see here. Oh my god. Alright, hold on. I have to, like, sanitize this thing. It's also a little bit of, like, the composition where it's, like, it's so much negative space. People don't... It's so bad, it's so good. This is like, you know how in Mr. Robot, if any of you guys ever saw that show, they used so much negative space to create the feeling of anxiety. So when so much is wrong and there's so much anxiety in the piece, but then the person depicted is like smiling, it's like, it's like, it just becomes so funny. Okay, so we have some like Zelda bangs and stuff. All right, I'll put this over here. It's like too funny. We have to do it. Oh gosh. Man. She looks like an anglerfish. It's so crazy. Okay, we're doing a study of how bad this is, because it's so bad it's good. Has to be done. Has to be done. It's so hard to draw stuff like this. All my instincts are fighting it. It's like I have to squint just to see it, because my brain is like trying to fix it. Oh. Oh. Okay. It's not like what is wrong with my drawing. It's like what is right with your drawing, dude. But you can also see how they like earnestly gave a shot at like, okay, there's foreshortening, there's perspective. I tried. Why didn't it work? And well, ironically, it did sort of work for the wrong reasons. Oh, even here, jeez. Correct my own bad drawing. This is almost like a you know what's weird is it's the lensing is almost like you're an insect on her lapel looking upward. That's how much distortion there is. I have to erase this. It's like helping too much. But like I do see what they did right with like here her collar. They've got the angles going the right way. The bravery of the OP to put art like this out is incredible. Yeah, no, I'm like there's I'm not roasting the artist. It's like more like I'm roasting myself, trying to it's really just a roast of the internet at this point. It's not even very... I don't even think I did a good job. Let's see here. Okay, that could go down more. I don't like erasing stuff, but sometimes you have to. We all know I don't make mistakes. It would be like the appropriate, like the trophy, like the max forward trophy that I would give. It'd be like, okay, this approximate Max's talent is that It's like it would be a pencil, and it was like worn down to, it was like sharp down to a nub, but the eraser part of the pencil is like untouched. So it's like you use the pencil all the way down till it's like almost done, and then you never made a single mistake. It's an unscuffed eraser. Of course, that's not the case, but the it's like a little bit of a self-tease there. And they tried to shade it too. Like this is not a bad effort. It's just that this stuff is hard. Has it been rainy for anybody else out there? I know Charity's in the same bag, but in LA, it's a very easy content. Well, Sector, you posted about how all that stuff, but gloomy and cold, yeah. It's kind of like that right now. Although the sun started shining right before school today. Okay, so what do we do with this stuff? We like go like this, right? We're like, no. And then I have to draw something underneath it. But I'm not fixing it. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be like this. I'm probably not gonna post this. It's just like a funny thing that like stuck in my head. And then it's like, what is that? What's that thing that happens? It's like face implosion. Yeah, exactly. Like you're like implosions upon implosions. And then my son likes to write 100% when he does a good job. All right. I don't, I hope that's not a mean-spirited kind of thing. You add a lemon. Yeah, exactly. Or like add juices squeezing out. It's the germ of the thing. We don't have to chase it all down right now. lemons happening. Alright, alright. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, that's some silliness. Had to get it out of her system. Maybe it was funnier to me in my head. This past weekend, I had friends over. Do you guys remember this old piece? Remember this thing? Uh-oh. Will this focus? It's my Dungeons and Dragons commission. My homie came by with the printed out version. Yeah, I actually printed it, but I sent it to his town to get printed. And I wasn't sure it was going to get printed in time, so I printed my own version and drove it up to him. And it was good that I did, because this one didn't get printed in time. But it was there in time for his birthday, because I drove it there. And, it's not like it's not an awesome piece. It's just a little, without, like, attaching, like, the fan art to the fan base kind of thing. Like, it's like their personal Dungeons and Dragons thing that nobody cares about. Like, I care because I drew it, and it's objectively pretty good, but it's like, it's not, no one's gonna be like, whoa, I love those guys too. It's like, no one knows that. There we go. Just add lemons. I mean, yes, I have posted it on my Instagram, and yes, 1 or 2 people appreciated it for what it was. There we go. Just add lemons. All right. Save that. All right, here we go. Rear and that's a fun little bit of internet moment. Okay, so now we do. How much time we got now? 2 minutes or 2 hours, 45 minutes. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we can do some studies of these crazy kids. Nothing crazy about that. Okay, we can leave this here. Okay, so this is a reference. So we're going to go as hard and fast as we can for a minute. Sexer's going to be right back. But I'm going to talk for a second about what he was saying a little bit ago, which was the sort of like the pull of the conscience of the artist to grow in one way, and yet to I guess it's sort of like a more base tendency to indulge in what is easy and appeals to the lowest common denominator. There is a ultimately, I think it's like a split strategy, right? For like thinking of like game theory, we have to think about like, okay, it's not necessarily sustainable to only concentrate on the hardest things, and it's not ultimately sustainable to only concentrate on the easiest things. It's like a little bit of a mixed strategy is advisable. Maybe when the lower hanging fruit is blooming, we should be able and ready to harvest it. And when that isn't available, we should have a plan and strategy in place to harvest the really hard to reach stuff, because that will sustain us in leaner times. And it's interesting. I don't know what the best strategy is for right now. Right now it feels like there's no... Right now it feels like the robots have rushed in and harvested all the low-hanging fruit and all the high-hanging fruit, and everyone's confused, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But listen, what I do know is that people don't want the robotic fruit. They want the real human stuff. We're going to concentrate on that. All right. So what do we have here? We've got... This is objectively well-referenced, low-hanging fruit. And I don't try to make a point about doing this stuff, but it's pretty clear enough that this isn't AI. This is actual real Nintendo stills, and I'm conflicted in some ways about this stuff. It doesn't look like it's shots from the movie. It just doesn't feel that way to me. It just feels like they're like... I'm going to withhold a lot of judgment, but the look of the casting looks good to me, and I'm happy with what I see so far. It just... This looks more promotional. Just as a guy who like works in advertising, this looks like advertising more than something that's ready for the screen. That's it. Okay, we're gonna switch the all right, we all know I work with a lot of different tools. Some of them are flat like that. I use that for color fills. Some of them, these are wedgy. Sorry, this is more of a chisel shape with a lot of tooth to it, and then this one is like a wedge. We'll use this one for now. And what we'll do is... we're going to be a little sloppy. That's okay. We can vibe this out. What can we learn from a image that... from an artist who admittedly knew so little that they couldn't tell where they went wrong, but that they knew they went wrong. It's interesting. In the middle, it would be better for the group shot. And I'll put them all in separate layers so that I can move them around. I saw it commented earlier on Reddit, but people were making the comparisons between this and The Princess Bride, and I think there's an age difference between the portrayal of the actors, but that's definitely, I think it's apt. I may shift them over. I'm not sure. There's a lot of negative space to the right side. I'm not sure that's helping everything. Why not just split it like this for now? Okay. God. there's always going to be a tendency to draw things big. Let's see, what should it be? We can do a little bit different. We can do Zelda big. Link a little small. Maybe something like that. It's like, and then you remember you have to design everything for TikTok, so it's like, all right, let's get everything sort of clustered towards the middle. Maybe that's the best idea. Just center cut everything. No. No, but that's good enough right there. In the middle, we can shrink them down. And for the edges, we'll figure something out. Okay, one thing at a time. And let's set a timer for, what is it? Let's think about 15 minutes. So 10:15. Let's try to move on to the next thing. We have to be structured with our timing. We can't say, oh, I'll finish this side. Because, well, it's like nothing's ever finished, right? And it's also not in a vacuum. But essentially, we're trying to work out like 2 portraits and a wide shot in 3 hours. We want it to look good. Not necessarily an easy task. But as I tend to do, I make an egg, I divide it in half, and then I don't know what I do after that. One thing that might be different, though, today is that I'm not going to be in a rush to post this. We rarely work from real photographs of real people. So in some ways this should be easier, but I I never anticipate anything being easy. That's feeling decent. We could try to do what I always do, which is try to make the main characters look exactly in the eyeline direction of the viewer. It's not the end of the world either way, right? Just putting that out there. I mean, it's kind of nice I don't have to make a bunch of lighting decisions, right? There's a little bit of a high forehead. Nothing wrong with that. Gotta make sure I don't get too angular. Like, she's not like a... Very soft features. Very much channeling a young Robin Wright from Princess Bride in these stills. I might see what I can do to push the ears a little bit. That's not the end of the world. Interesting. Her kind of has a little nose like that. And it's like she doesn't have like anime eyes, you know what I mean? Like that actress, like what is it? Anna Taylor-Joy, whatever her name is. It's her face is like all eyeballs. Not in a bad way. Some of this chin down here is just catching light. Yeah. Five more minutes, then we'll move on to the next portion. Otherwise, what you end up with is a piece of art that has all the efforts concentrated in one zone, and then everything else feels like an afterthought, and you wouldn't really want that. The chin must remain soft. As discussed earlier, it might be... Can I make her look at camera? You know... I don't care if it's gimmicky. It could be my thing. It's pretty close for now. When given the choice, be delicate with noses, but she has a pretty nose, so we have to try to honor that. We have to, and who knows if it's makeup or not, but, you know, darker eyelids. She seems to have full lashes, but I appreciate they went minimal on the makeup, at least as far as appearance's sake. Texture up here. The whole face is sort of in shadow. Which is good for how I like to draw, but seconds. Natural feeling of eyebrowness. Okay, it's 10:15. Let's do a quick save. Not hating how it looks, so that's good. I think if anything, like this needs to come in more. She looks more mature in my drawing than she does here. Something to work on. A little more grown into her face. Nothing bad about that, though. Still looks decent. Okay, let's move on to Link. "15-minute chunks." Okay, Link is I like the casting. I think he's make this look a little bigger for now. I like the casting. He looks younger than Zelda. I think that's fine. I think they don't look much different, you know, and I could be wrong. I like everybody's hair colors. Just overall, very, very good. Very difficult casting. So give it my thumbs up. Something about his proportions and his face feel difficult to draw. And this is an angle that I am not confident. Also, he is having some symmetrical differentiation, and that's fine. Everybody has that. The ultimately that like throws a fork in the road. Do we honor that, or do we idealize? I don't know. Okay, so we'll go to, like, let's be generous, maybe 1035. Hold on. Seeing a small thing I want to... I don't like making corrections this way, but I think it needs a little bit of that. Okay, so Link seems to have a bit of a wide face. That's an interesting choice, but at least they didn't do the same with Zelda. He looks Linkish to me, so that's all I'm gonna. That's the only complaint I think I have. Otherwise, he looks good. Link as a character is constantly evolving. He's not. Like here, then people commented on this on Reddit, like, where's the hat? And I was like, okay, well, they may not have a hat. If they do, I think that's cool. If they don't, I'm not going to freak out about it. The hat is hard to draw. It's hard to honor well. It's possibly the most elfish, like, Santa's elf-looking part of him. And maybe we move past it. I don't know. He's pretty boyish here. This is the most, like, sort of, like, smoldering I've seen this kid, but we can sort of make a decision how much of the youngness we honor versus the you know, maybe there's a way we can find an edge, find the inner Dread Pirate Roberts and young Wesley here. I'm not gonna lie, when this came out, I was like, oh, that looks cool. Wait, is it AI? And I was like, oh boy. Because this came out just a few hours ago, and I was literally like looking at the stitching, which AI doesn't do very well, and I was like, you know, is it wrong, or is it just sort of made to look rustic and handmade and natural and stuff? You know, that coupled with the you know, it was like leaked or whatever, or at least that's what it said it initially. And then I saw something that said it was official, so I'm like, is it official? I'm not sure if I know the full official stance. But the hair isn't looking AI to me, and that's usually a dead giveaway. I think it's pretty clear. You can look at this picture and you can tell that this eye is lower than this one. Even though the face is tilted, it's pretty clear. But what's also clear is like this nostril is not lower than this one. It may even be higher. So there's sort of like this offset symmetry. I have some of that myself in my own face. There's no shade against the actor. It's just sort of a part of what makes drawing portraits difficult is analyzing and correcting or not correcting for those things, because who a person is not naturally idealized. I like his little squint going on here. I probably drew those too big, but it's okay. So I've seen the actor. He seems to have a chin, but here it seems to not be feeling that strong. And it's weird how that can sort of activate at certain angles. Nothing wrong with nothing wrong with hitting the gym. What I do appreciate is he looks scrappy. He does look scrappy. And we could do the same thing. It's a double portrait, but he's looking at us. make that work. Yeah, we're I mean, hey Jody, I can't hold my breath long enough for the let's see here. I'm lacking in the perfect analogy right now, but on occasion I must authorize the indulgence of topical trends and internet memes as a means to further my true goal, which is based. But there must the road to based is laid with cringe. Perhaps is the is the analogy. And I can do an honorable job at this, but God knows I drew enough original non-live action Zelda content and tried to make that work and enjoyed it and loved it and all that. But we're gonna see how we'll switch up tactics a little bit. Also, I thought these images are cool. These images aren't bad. They're not bad. There's something here. This is a non-wasted effort, even if I never posted. It's good, but I will post it, and by a wing and a prayer, maybe it'll make a difference. But try not to think less of me. But that'll be my fate. They'll be like, "Oh, Max Ford, isn't he that guy that like got famous just copying viral memes and internet trends?" I'll be like, "Ah." But I'm sort of doing a little bit of a minor timed challenge on this where I'm trying not to spend too much on a certain section. So I've got about 5 more minutes on this portrait before I move to like the middle section. Make some progress there. That way my efforts are evenly distributed across the top and middle and bottom. She's way too far over at the top. Okay. Or I could make her bigger later. We'll see. Maybe it's like this. That's not bad. There we go. Could be worse than that. Okay, 2 hours to go. We don't see a good representation of Link's ears in this composition, but maybe I can fix that. It's not bad. It's a subtle thing, but just the slightest shift in the eye line will make him look at us as opposed to near us. It's just sort of a bet I'm making, but that'll make a difference. Okay. Time to move on to middle section. So here, Didn't see that. Quick save. I think it's okay that there's some space between them. That's a fun kind of tension. Munching on some old Cheerios my kids had for breakfast. Okay, 15 minutes on this. That'll take us to about 11. Don't you love it when credit card companies send you notifications that a giant bill is coming? Like, oh. They're like, do you recognize this charge? And I'm like, unfortunately, yes. It's one of my favorite tracks. Oh my gosh, I can't read how small this writing is sometimes. This is multi-shadow, yes. Hey, how are you doing? Got any cool Sonic art you're working on? Yeah, it's a bit of a long time no see. I'm not trying to not stream. It's just my life is chaos. My it's not like it's life on default isn't hard enough, but when you have kids and it approaches the holiday season and everybody you know is having a birthday at the same darn time, it's makes it a bit rough. Doing some My Hero Academia. Hold on, let me get on my Twitch. We're gonna take a mini break to check out your art, and then I must put the pause on the. But then I must. Oh, on the interrupt. Put the interrupting. Let's see here. Okay, let me pause that and then here. No, because I love. It's not all about me. It's loading. Slowly, it's loading. Okay, this looks great. Let's see here. I wouldn't recommend keeping the transparency on. But this looks like it's going well. My Hero Academia. You know, I don't watch that show. I don't know anything about it. I know more about Sonic than I do this stuff. But this looks cool. Now you can be honest with me. Are you tracing a little bit? This still looks really cool. But it's really great. Trying to find my phone while watching stream on my phone. You're like, what's going on? I'm like, where's my damn phone? Oh wait, I'm on my phone. That's funny. You know, a little bit of this like Zelda and Link vibe is giving me that like cringy. This is the worst I'll say about it, is it's a little bit like what is it? Anakin and Padme. Yeah, it's a little bit like this. It's a little this with the you know what I mean? It's not that bad. But it's a little bit of that. A little bit of that. I blame my age, but I remember being 14 looking for my glasses while also wearing my glasses. Same deal. Like, I'm like, where are my keys? Like, they're literally in my hand, or I like can't find my keys. Or they're like, my glasses are on my head, right? I like this leak where like we see that things are going, it feels like things are going in the right way, but also it's like I'm a little surprised to see like I'm not seeing like what I would call like new information. Like this isn't that far from what I would like ascribe as being like the least common denominator among the more modern Zelda interpretations. Like, Lord of the Ring meets Zelda, like, that's exactly what this looks like. Is that... That's not necessarily exciting. I saw some of the live action, or what looked like live action footage of like Zelda talking to someone who was like holding onto horse reins and stuff like that. And it was a little interesting to me because that person carried themselves, not the, so Bo Bragdon, I don't remember, look it up in a second, but, what I don't like is when the main character sort of feels like they're being upstaged by lesser characters who are just sort of like, they're just being theater about it and sort of like moving in a way that feels conscious versus sort of like sleeping around from shot to shot. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to stand here? Okay, I'm gonna stand there. Whereas like the other person is like, you can feel their all of their muscles activating, and someone who's like feels like they're used to like emoting in mocap or something like that. I guess you never know what's happening on set. Maybe the director is like saying, yeah, don't move around too much so that we can fix a bunch of stuff in post or whatever, because there's supposed to be a fairy on your shoulder or something. You know, you never know, but... It's supposed to be like that. Let's see here. It's a bit like that. I saw that footage too, yeah. And it's like, I'm not complaining about anything, but part of me is like sort of hoping that, I mean, and this part is like unfair to the actor and actresses playing stuff, but it's like the fandom was well established like well before they were even born, and so they can't really understand all the context of the expectations. But I'm rooting for them. There's no shade here. Looks like he's wearing a cloak here. Part of what gave me pause was he looks like he's wearing a cloak in the wide shot, but in the close-up shot, he isn't. And that doesn't mean anything, but like, having trained myself to spot discrepancies in order to... It's not gonna make a big deal about calling it AI. I just want to be able to recognize it when I'm looking at it, and it gave me pause, I'll be honest. And today's one of those, like, minimum early dismissal days at my kid's school, so I have even less time than I normally would have had to stream. I'm still good to go for another hour and a half at least, but no fun. She's got this awkward bow. It just, like, this wide pose feels a little awkward. Like, I wonder if I could give just a little bit more tension to it. A little bit more dynamism. Maybe even just drop this middle stuff and just go for what's in the in between. I don't know. Nothing. I'll keep it up, but the because the landscape is pretty goated. I'm down with what I see back here. A little bit more included, because it can kind of become part of everything that we're looking at. Hey, Danny. Be good. Okay, I need to very quickly pee. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can find my classic. Pee image. Come on. I can't find it. All right, listen. I'll be right back. BRB. Wait, maybe I have it here. I'm back. Alright, so... done with that. Over here. Oop. Something looking like this. Alright, so let's move back to Zelda. See how far we can get with her for another 15 minutes. It's like, unseen here is probably like a horse that they'll add in post or something, but you know they got to that field somehow. There we go. Salutation, Max. How's it going? I can't read who that is because the thing is too small. The real Infer X Live. Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good. This is my attempt to do something cheesy and topical. It's not cringe if it's successful, right? We'll see. I'm still working on some of those speed paint videos. I can't do anything without getting interrupted, and then it's just like it starts me back from the beginning when that happens. People talk about how there's 24 hours in a day, but for me there's really like 3 hours in a day. Because I get up and then I have the morning routine with my kids, and then I've got about 6 hours total to decide how I'm going to split up whatever work I have balanced with whatever chores are going on. And if there's no work, there's still a lot of chores. And I still want to get streaming done if I can. Even though it's sort of impossible at times. This is so relatable. I'm in college all day, and then when I'm done, I go to study, and that's what I'm doing most of the evening. Yeah. They're like, just do it in your downtime. I'm just like, what downtime? There's no downtime. The time when I had downtime is so long ago that I don't remember what it was really like. The rest of my life is like triage. Like I'm trying to figure out which precious thing in my life I need to pour the very small remainder of fire. I only have so much fire extinguisher left, and all of my life is on fire. And that's what I do with the rest of my day, is like decide what What can afford to burn a little longer versus what needs to be put out right now? That's it. That's everything. But I think this will look good. And it, you know, it won't, it probably won't blow up or anything like that, but it won't hurt. Knowing me, it'll be like too early. And then, like, it'll catch on to the algorithm after I post it so that, like, other people who do similar things will be, we'll ride the wave, but I'm like, oh, I was too early. Too early. Let me see. I gotta look into this closer. I'm feeling less stressed because it's going well, so I can look at some of the stuff. Exactly. As soon as I try to do something for myself, my parents get really upset with me. Currently not in the greatest position with my parents, but I've attempted to get back into art. The art is looking great as usual. So thank you. I appreciate it. As soon as I do anything, like, I mean, typically by now, my wife would have called 3 times, asking me something about something that it's like not an emergency, you know? Or the school calls and lets me know that it's not an emergency, but my daughter like threw up or something like that. I'm like, what? How do I not react to this stuff? None of this has happened yet today, so it's like, hooray, now we get a solid stream and I'm getting something cool started, but people view everything through their own lenses, and it's just that's not right. Okay, we have... Forgot that I'm supposed to be concentrating on Zelda right now, so let's do that. Maybe we switch it up to... different dish brush. Different dish. What's happening here? Darker, come on. Next, I got a random question, but have you ever tried drawing from manga artists? I remember you saying you've done storyboard work for Clash and the Street Fighters fan art, but I'm wondering if you tried anything else. Yeah, I'm I keep sort of mentioning this half jokingly, but the manga arc will be real and it will not be far off. I'm personally committed to doing a So it's weird. I was sort of like an early manga fan when I was 8 years old, when I didn't know that manga was called manga. And this was like the early 90s when manga was not readily available in comic book shops, even in a large city like LA. Like, it was there, but like they kept it like sort of like out of the reach of the young kids because it had more adult themes. It was and none of my friends were into it, so it was sort of like unto a vacuum unto myself. So I sort of necessarily had to sort of not be as into manga growing up as I was inclined to be. But like, I had Robotech comic books when I was like a kid, in like the 90s and stuff like that. And now I like watch YouTube videos on people trying to explain what the hell Robotech even is. So the manga and anime interest is quite high for me, and yes, there will be a lot of that eventually. If you've got a recommendation, you can definitely let me know. But like, I'm definitely planning on hitting all the major, like Akira and Ghost. Like, for me, it's like classic Akira and Ghost in the Shell and I've done some Studio Ghibli stuff. I'm aware, of course, that's, you know, anime, not manga, but there was a anime I was a fan of when I was a kid called Riding Bean, which was a spin-off of Gunsmith Cats, I believe. It's all very, like, not for kids stuff, but that's why I loved it. I was like, cool, cartoons for adults. Like, very much gravitated towards that sort of stuff. Any kind of manga by Masamune Shiro. So, of course, like Ghost in the Shell. I was a big fan of, like, Tank Police. Owned several of those comics. All that stuff is just incomprehensible narrative incomprehensibles, but it's but the artwork is so goated. Like, I love almost all that stuff. Like, pretty much everything that guy drew, I'm like, cool, this, I'll draw this. Like, it's awesome. Process looking good. Thank you, Sextrant. Be right back, my ass. Just kidding. I think this is on its way to being pretty good. All right. This is the, got distracted. Ever since you mentioned your brother uses BRB to leave, I thought I'd do the same for sure. All right. Let's, everybody say a prayer. We're going to flip this. All right. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. Okay, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. Let's do ourselves a favor and flip the reference to. You know, it doesn't look any worse than this does when we flip it, right? So, here, you guys can see that probably a little better here. I'll flip it up here too. Yeesh. I've been pretty distracted as well. I should probably get back to my politics essays. It's been good catching up. Next, I look forward to tuning in. Hopefully with some time soon. All good. And I'll keep posting on the YouTube and stuff. I get distracted with shit too. So listen, life is life. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Happy that this looks as good as it does with the flop. And like, all we really need this to capture is the germ. You know, ultimately, I won't have enough time today to finish this on stream. We're still going to go for about another hour 15 or something. But, you know, for me to get this the way I want it to look, it's going to take probably twice as much time as I have available today to stream it. And yeah, that's how it goes. But if you get a good start to something, it kind of finishes itself if you start it right. Oh, what is this music? Something different. We don't need this. Here, we'll detour to a little Lord of the Ringsy type stuff. It's not entirely inappropriate. We've got the wilds of New Zealand in our brains here. Is there a universe where I don't have to struggle drawing nostrils? Probably not. It's come together pretty decently. Go away for a minute. So much detail. Yeah, this... Well, I don't have any good excuse not to crush this one if I'm working from a photograph. It's like an open book test, right? I like how that was a thing. I don't know if it still is a thing, but it's like, oh yeah, it's open book test. It's like, cool. Watch me fail.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo.
All right, let's move on to Link. But I've got it laid out, and and it survived the first flop where you flip it horizontal, and you almost expect everything to just sort of like be like 2 inches out of place, and when it isn't, it's just this major victory, it feels like. It's going to be hard not to rush this out. Like not going to lie, it was always sort of... like, even yesterday I was thinking, I was like, they have pictures of the actor and the actress. Like, maybe I should just draw them up as, like, Link and Zelda. And, and it's weird how, like, even in my own brain, it was sort of like, oh, somehow that's a bad idea. And then today, the leak or whatever landed. I guess it's official because it came from Nintendo, or did it? But it was so timely. I was like, okay, I have a window. It's not a large window. But if I don't do any of my chores and do them later while I'm helping my kids with their homework. Because normally I try to get the homework, get the home stuff done before I stream. Like, if I stream, I don't want it to be like, oh, I didn't do any of the like dishes, because it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to stream instead, and it's like, okay, that's not the best look. But today the schedule's a little different, and I know that I'll be able to make up the time later, as long as I was productive with the stream early. Yes, one came from Nintendo. The other day, somebody was recording the set from afar. Yeah, that makes sense. So that one was probably a leak, and then they're like, shit, we need to, like, own the leak a little bit so that people know. Nintendo was probably like, oh, shit, people are hyped for leaks. Let's leak something, you know? It's looking decent. Okay. We'll go to 11:40 with the link here. I'm just still working with our sort of timed intervals to make sure that we aren't over-indexing on any specific part of the art in a way that we shouldn't. Sort of looks maxing him a little bit. Maybe a little unintentionally, maybe a little intentionally. Like mewing Link. That's I've had that. We don't need to go too far with that. It's just like a thing I tend to do. That. So I see the forms and I'm like, cool. Let's just draw more of those. And you know, he's a young kid. We don't need to make sure that like every striation in his jawbone is visible, right? It's the trouble with child actors. You never know how they're going to grow. It's funny because like Kurt Russell was like a child actor, you know, who like became totally badass, you know, but that wasn't like evident when he was a kiddo, you know. And I haven't seen any movies that this kid has been in, so I'm just taking it all from like little photographic stills that we've been privy to. There we go. That's pretty decent. Okay, time to switch it up. Some work done on this wide shot, and I'm going to constrain it to like 10 minutes because we are like this wide shot, like look how little detail we have. Look at this. You know, it's just this blur. What can we do? We have to use our brain and our experience. But it's hitting right. It's hitting right to me. There's something here. Long stream today? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit longer than usual. It's not going to go for too much longer. $50, 50. It's an early dismissal day for my kids. That means I gotta pick them up and then help them do homework and do chores for the rest of the day after that. My favorite. And on some days, honestly, it's fine if I just leave them there at school. They'll be fine. They'll put them in the aftercare program and they'll have fun. Except it's raining today. It's dark out, right? So I send them to school in like rain boots and stuff. And they'll complain when I pick them up. They'll be like, we want to play with our friends and stuff like that. But I'm like, yeah, but you told me you wanted me to pick you up. I can't win with this stuff, but like having a hard deadline is also a good idea. And then I can just sort of... It's been raining for days and days and days, yeah. Yeah, I'd be surprised if this didn't get at least some good likes on the socials. Yeah, it's been raining for days and days, and we've done a good job mitigating the effects at my house. But it's just more shit we don't need. I mean, we need rain in LA, but it's just another reason for like companies to cancel a shooting commercial or something like that, or delay something or push back on something, or another element of chaos. I wanted to do I was saying this earlier, I wanted to do a piece like this before. But it always felt like presumptive or honestly pretty challenging. Now they've gone out and like made the table for me, so might as well sit down to eat. Atmospheric rivers, yeah. They didn't talk about atmospheric rivers when I was a kid. I remember when, like, El Nino was a new thing. They're like, there's this thing called El Nino. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, But I can just hear the director like, okay, Zelda, look that way. Sort of kneel down in a crouching lunge. Look pensive over your kingdom. And then, Link, you look at her looking at stuff. There, got it. Let's see here. Saturday night. We thought the roof to my job was gonna collapse or something. We had at least a dozen leaks. Oh my god, and coming down hard. It was deafening. Yeah. Good times as a kid. Not so much as an adult. Yeah. No, rain is all great when it like cancels school and stuff like that, you know. If I don't mitigate, the rain will flood my backyard, get all up into my garage and stuff like that. I literally have to set up a pump and a hose and pump all this excess water, all this pooling water into the street. Or else it's going to cause tons and tons of damage. And like, it isn't one of those things where you can, like, it can dump so hard in less than 10 minutes that it floods in my yard. It isn't this thing where you can be like, oh, it's raining really hard, I gotta rush home. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I rush home. Like, it'll be a lake in 10 minutes. So it's sort of, when it's really bad, like it was a couple years ago, I mean, even like last year, the last couple of years, I've had to like stay up late on occasion on some nights just to make sure that I can turn on the pump when it needs to go on. Grandpa built the garage pretty good. We don't have to worry about that. That's good. My garage is built on like the lowest area of the property on the slab. So there's no raised foundation or anything like that with it. And frankly, like the area around the doorways of all of my house are like, you can tell where like the water has gotten into the cheap particle board they make shit out of these days, and it's like corrupting the wood, and it sucks. And like, I'm watching things rot. But you know what happens is like, as like very quickly afterward, it all, like the sun just comes out, dries everything out, and like the thought of rain ever coming again is so far from your brain. You're just like, why would I think about rain? Like, there's no need to worry about that stuff. It never rains, you know, until it does, of course. Okay, this is looking good. All right, peeps, we're in the home stretch as far as this one. We've got 42 minutes left. 42 minutes. Let's see here. We can do... Let's do 2 15s. No. Yeah, 2 15s and a 10. 15, so 12:05. Yeah, 12:05. Let's work on Zelda. This is sort of interesting. It's like, should I add... Should I be working on like the positive or negative space? Is it too much of a rush? I don't think I want to rush that just yet. I'll do like the positive, negative space and some lighting effects and finishing off the stream. We'll just add a little bit more detail for now.
Go back, Sam! Going to Mordor alone. Of course you are. And I'm coming with you!
Kind of almost has freckles. A little bit of that. I love the rain from a comfort of my warm house. Yes, me too. My kids love it. Like they love to like put on their rain boots and go like splash around and stuff like that. So that's most of what I'm gonna try and do the rest of the day is like enjoy not being busy today. That's hard to do. I hate that work is slow right now. So little I can do about it. Other than make myself world famous. You know? But honestly, if I don't screw this up, might do the trick. Every stroke is adding information that we can amplify or diminish later on because we're applying it in discrete chunks. Carefully layering the information in. It's non-destructive. We're not cementing anything into place with this process. Airlines for me are always a little tricky. Sometimes it's faster to draw the negative space. And it looks better too. There's always a certain tension between foreground and background, or just anything that needs to be represented, but not more importantly than something else. I can't add more detail to the background or like the subject. The context is not more important than like the subject, right? It's important, but it's not. If I start detailing trees when I haven't detailed her eyelashes or something like that, like it's me getting things a little out of order of importance. Order of operations, right? A lot of what's happening now is my brain is sort of taking over The part of my brain that sees it as done is shoving aside the the part of my brain that wants a measured and controlled approach. Still have some balance here, but I want that sort of impulsive quality to it as well. Not making mistakes. There's no mistakes at this point. The drawing is becoming what it wants to be. And we get to be the messenger. Squinting becomes important to feel the composition of the image as a whole. And not get bogged down in details. We need information at the edges and the periphery. That's what I'm doing now. But that'll get cut. It'll be sort of diluted with some of the tonal differentiation I'll put in later.
Nine rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power.
All right, 20 minutes left. Okay, we'll go another 9 minutes on Link, and then do some middle stuff and some overall adjustments. Definitely need some more hair down here. Some hair's going this way, some hair's going that way. Gotta make sure the whites of the eyes aren't too bright. So I always make that too bright. And there's definitely such a thing as too much information in the hair. I'm probably doing that right now. I think we'll be able to rescue any of that. Feels like it's getting there. All right, 10 minutes. Well, let's see what I would do, I think, at this stage, assuming that everything else, I was happy with everything else, and I think I am, you know. I can only go so far with this section in the middle. There's not enough reference here for me to do much other than do a lighting study. There's no detail in that image, so what I have to do is what I would normally do in this situation, which is separate the positive and negative space. And I always do the negative space because it's so easy to get caught up in like, oh, here's some more positive space, here's some more positive space. If you just focus on negative space, you just see it. And you can get it done quickly. And this is just me, but I use a funky brush that has like no detail to it. So it's like getting in there and making it sort of forces you to make a bold decision about like, okay, your negative space, your negative space. And you don't end up doing all this like in and out, in and out, in and out stuff. You just sort of be like, there, big negative space. Now what's interesting is because we sort of have three subjects here, the idea of like how to cut around that and make sure all that is honored is a little strange. You can see here where I'm having trouble like with these flyaway hairs, like how do I make a decision about what is and isn't negative space. But what I'm actually doing is just sort of drawing the energy of the negative space, not the detail of it, you know. And if I have like a chunk that like is a gap, that's fine. If there's turbulence in the negative space, then draw the vibe of the turbulence is sort of what I'm saying. And those at home may wonder, like, Max, how do you know where to carve out exactly where the line of her nose is going to be or whatever? And it isn't that I know where it is. It's just if it felt okay within a certain threshold, then that's what it is, you know? Like, if I went way too far, I'd know. And if I didn't go far enough, I'd know. But somewhere in there is a happy spectrum of great. Great to good. Good to great. And all of that works. At a certain point, like, if you are confident enough in your ability to sell the vibe, the audience will do the detailing for you. They'll fix any error that they see in their own minds. There's a lot of self-correcting mechanisms. It almost looks a little bit like they're sitting on his head. I'm going to have to let's make sure that the top of his head doesn't look too cut out. It's interesting. Like, surely this is negative space, but negative space can transition into positive space. Artfully, if we do it right. Feels like it needs... Compositionally, something needs to be there for it. Might have to do a little bit of executive decisioning on let's see. 2 minutes left. I think what I'm exploring the idea of is having something that looks like some dominant hair strokes coming down. Some of this can look like it's getting a bit blown out in a highlight. Or it'd be over here, I guess. Yeah. Something like that. And then... yeah. Something akin to this. Sort of makes too much of a meal of the top of his head, which is interesting. Save. And for whatever reason, it does seem to feel important that there is some lightness happening over here. we shrink down this middle section a bit more. Getting a little haphazard with the execution overall, but the composition feels like it needs it. A little more separation. And now we can just go in and fine-tune that negative space a little bit more. Hold on, let me check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I gotta leave right now. But I'm going to quickly do some things. So sometimes less is more. And in this case, making these characters in the middle smaller will have a more decisive impact on the composition as a whole. That's feeling better. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it there. Still lots to do. However, not a bad way to spend 3 hours. Just make a fun thumbnail. And then I gotta go. Make it about Zelda. We're like, what? Goofy stuff. Okay, that's gonna be it. And anybody still listening, thanks for tuning in.